knows to stay muted, have their cameras off. That will help minimize distractions and maximize the bandwidth. And we'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, but please feel free to use the chat so they don't forget what your question was, but we will address any questions at the end. And the webinar is obviously being recorded, as you could probably just hear, and you will get a copy of that at the end. And there will be a survey at the end as well. So welcome and thank you all for being here today at this special workshop presented by the School of Technology and the Career and Professional Development Center. This session is brought to you by our Career Quest series and is titled, You're in a Data Analytics Program. Now what career should you go for? Over the next hour, we will help you learn how to build connections between the skills you're earning and the roles that best fit your interests and passions. Let us help you launch and advance your data analytics career. My name is Shay Preem. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Interim Associate Dean and Director for the Data Analytics Programs. I will be joined by my colleague, Cliff Guerin.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. Again, my name is Cliff Guerin. I am pronouns he, him, or anything else you want to call me, I guess. That's fine with me. So great. I am one of the senior advisors here at the Career and Professional Development Center, and I'm very glad to be here with you all to present this presentation.
All right, I'd like to start by giving an overview of what data analytics is. Many of you who have already completed your introduction to data analytics or possibly the data analytics journey courses, this may be a recap, but it will tie this into the career options that are available to you. So it's just a little bit of a brief recap. And hopefully it will help you start to draw some lines between those skills that you're getting and how you can start to articulate those in other areas of your job search and career readiness. So data analytics is truly an umbrella term and discipline that encompasses roles including data scientists, data engineers, analytics product managers, change management agents, and data architects. At WGU, we view analytics as the creative use of data and statistical modeling to tell a compelling story that not only drives strategic action, but also results in business value. Because the term analytics is so broad, there's a lot to unpack. The biggest takeaway is that it's not just about data-derived insights. While that is very important and data is critical, it's only part of the whole picture. It's a notion of data analytics being embedded within a business process, and you need to have an understanding of competencies around business influence. Things like communication strategies, change management, and truly affecting change and being able to understand the business domain and thinking about where and how you're going to put those insights into a business process to be able to move forward and really make sure that that decision maker has the output of your analysis when it matters so they can act on it. The notion of analytics is cyclical, it's a team sport, and a call to action. When we talk about analytics being cyclical, think about how we evolve over the years. We aren't the same person we were 10 years ago. As data changes, the analysis that you're running needs to fundamentally change too. When we talk about this notion of analytics being a team sport, we recognize how a lot of these things have changed in analytics. And it really has become that umbrella where we have roles that include the data scientist, but also now include data engineers, analytics translators. Those roles are people that sit between the business and the technical team that are actually there to be change agents and storytellers. So those analytics product managers, data scientists, data engineers, and even data analysts, which has really evolved so much as a role, all of those people come together to actually form the team of what we consider to be analytics today. And analytics can really be anywhere within a business. So as you think about your journey, you could go really technical, or you could stay towards some of the business influence skills, or find somewhere in between. And you can even change roles, add skills, subtract skills as you go, because we really don't know how data analytics will continue to evolve. We just know there will always be data analytics, data science, data research will always be here. The names may change, but again, those concepts will always be around. I want to touch on the last notion of analytics, and that's this call to action. Yes, the data is important and the model and the algorithms, but you need to be able to actually drive change with it. You need to be able to have a recommendation. What would you do if it was this result? There needs to be an actual strategy in place to show and educate how you use what the model output has provided. So all of that information comes together to really form the ingredients of the definition that we see here on the screen. And the great thing is here at WGU, and whether you're in an undergraduate analytics program or a master's analytics program, these are the elements that you will be learning. So all of this comes down to a lot of different roles that I have mentioned so far. But before we talk about the roles, I want to tie some loose ends together. Analytics is ultimately made up of roles that balance three key levers. A lever for programming skills such as Python, R, SQL, a lever for mathematical skills such as statistics and probability, and a lever for business influence skills like the change management, communication, design thinking, all of these pieces that I've been mentioning as well. So different roles in analytics will have a different combination of these levers. As you're in your analytics career and even in your program, in your academic education programs, you'll have the opportunity to navigate to roles that best fit your interests and passions. Whether that role be a data analyst, a data scientist, a data engineer, a machine learning engineer, an analytics translator, or some other to be defined analytics role that doesn't even exist yet. Our goal here at WGU and in your programs is to build you a foundation that you can springboard from. Now I'm going to start to dig into a little bit more of these roles. So the data analyst will have all of their levers at the midway mark, meaning that you can demonstrate competence in each of the three skills domains without necessarily being an expert in any of those one areas just yet. Depends on how you want to adjust those levers. If we move to the data scientist role noted and highlighted in yellow, you will see that all three levers are moved all the way up. This means that to be a data scientist, you need to have expert level skills in math, programming, and in business, which is why data scientist roles are seen as more of a unicorn position and why they tend to pay so well. The data engineer will have high coding skills and moderate math and business skills. Roles like the analytics translator or visualization scientist are roles that are higher on the business influence lever, on the business influence skills lever, and then more moderate on the programming and math. Kind of use language like a lot more, some of those roles can be more low code or no code, just depending on, again, kind of where your career and your passions and your interests take you. And there really are a variety of opportunities that allow you that flexibility and that pathing depending on which direction you want to go. So the next couple of slides that I have are really looking at, is a career in analytics worth the investment? So the great thing about this is that there are job postings in the analytics field for both bachelor's and master's degree holders that are seeing tremendous growth, which is being pretty well sustained as well. The data scientist's occupation is among the top 10 fastest growing occupations, according to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And we can see that data scientist roles are in double digit growth or just below six-figure wages. I also like to caveat that the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, when they categorize occupations and they say data scientists, like you can see on the screen, that's actually that whole umbrella of roles that I've been talking about. It's not just the data scientist role where the levers are all the way up. There are so many occupations, right? So they can't put all of them on the list for US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So they put it in a category. They named that category data scientists. But again, those data engineers, data analysts, the kind of product analysts, all of those roles will be rolled up into that. So just like to point that up. So it's not just about those levers in that data scientist role, but again, that whole umbrella of all the roles that I've been mentioning. In this slide, you can see that there are a lot of companies that are employing analytics roles today, ranging from Deloitte, Meta, Blue Cross, Amazon, Humana, Travelers. Those are just large companies that are out there. There are organizations of all sizes hiring data analytics roles. I know personally, based on my interests and my passions, working for a large organization wouldn't work for me. I'd feel like I'd kind of get lost in the sea. So I like medium-sized organizations. So I always just kind of like to point out, while we show, sure, if your path has you going to some of these larger organizations, that's wonderful. They're hiring, but just make sure that you're checking on the small organizations too, and seeing what they have for roles. And if there's a particular industry, I mean, you can see just from this list here, but if there's an industry that you really like healthcare, finance, tech, nonprofit, education, there's a very good chance that they're hiring some of these analytics professionals and roles there that we've been talking about. Next, we will review the skills alignment. So you are welcome. I should have mentioned this before. Take screenshots. We will be sending the recording out as well. But if you see something that you really like as far as some of the skills that you're gaining through your programs, ways that you can kind of start to incorporate that in your job search materials, again, I encourage you to take screenshots. First off, we will be talking about one of the things you'll see in both the undergrad and in the grad program is this concept of the data analytics life cycle, and that's the image that you see here on the right, which is really the analytics life cycle that goes from your business problem and business understanding all the way through the model, build, and getting back to some kind of reporting and visualization at the end. Now, in the undergrad program, it's really giving you a foundation of this life cycle. Yet in the master's program, you're going to go deeper into the life cycle. You become more of an expert in each of these different categories. But the thing that's interesting is, as you go around the circle, you can see where a lot of these different roles that make this more of a business process do start to come to life. Let's take a closer look at the life cycle now. You have the business understanding up front. This is where a lot more of those soft skills are going to come in. This is those soft skills or some of the business influence skills like problem solving stage and being able to work with your stakeholder as a true business partner. This is where the process really gets going. From there, you're going to start to translate that into a data analytics problem statements. You'll be able to work with data at this point as well. There are different ways to get the data and wrangle it. You'll see skills around database management. You'll start to use SQL, Python, R, whatever your preferred programming language is. You'll clean it in the next step. And that is really about getting to the adequate level where you can run an analysis that you will have confidence in. You'll start to explore the data next. And once you have it, again, you'll use languages like SQL or Python or R. This is where you're going to see some of the traditional exploratory data analysis. You're really trying to dive into the data and go back and continue to ask those business questions. Where things don't make sense, you might make sure that you're immersing yourself and you're not just making any assumptions about what the data represents. You'll then go into predictive modeling of some kind, depending on what you're doing. And then data mining and machine learning are where you'll see some of those more advanced programming techniques coming out. And again, using tools like Python and R. And then finally, when you get back to the acting and learning stage, and you're looking at that kind of 11 o'clock hour circle at the top left, this is where you have implementation and visualization. You'll have tools like Tableau, Power BI, depending on what you're using. These are, again, vehicles or tools to help you with storytelling, to drive change management, process engineering, and helping the business to consume what you found and what you predict and what you built to be able to really effect change. And then we start all over. It's a life cycle. The business problem evolves, the data evolves, new complexities happen. We continue to do this life cycle as a living, breathing thing. And when I mentioned, those opportunities where you might go backwards and think about those questions, are you making assumptions? Sometimes you have to go backwards in a life cycle and you have to run a different model or try something different. And it's so important that we recognize that failing isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially as programmers and coders. Sometimes that's when we find out just what we might be missing. So continue that life cycle, go backwards if you need to, go through it again, and continue to evolve and adjust what you're trying to affect. The table on the left-hand side will show you some of the common skills that are in all of our data analytics programs and how they relate to those three levers. While some skills highlight competencies from the bachelor's program, it's important to know that those are foundational skills that are needed for success in the master's program and will be mastered, for lack of a better word, in that program as well. So again, feel free, I'll take a pause for just a second if anybody needs to grab a screenshot of those skills so that you can, again, start to leverage those with your resources.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this chat like recorded? Will I be able to look back at this?
Yes, it is recorded, and you will be getting a recording as well. So if you're using a mobile device or an opportunity where you can't take screenshots, you will be getting a recording as well.
Okay, so how does that work? Because I'm at work right now, but I didn't want to miss this. So,
Yep.
how would I be able to?
We have your email. If you since you registered, we have your email, and we'll definitely make sure that we follow up with a thank you and the recording link based on the email you registered with.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit now about leveraging the certificates that you're earning in the program. And again, just re-emphasizing, being a little bit of a broken record, all of those skills and competencies that you're getting throughout your program as well. And if you're in a bachelor's program, again, you'll get those foundational skill set you need to springboard your career. It's meant to prepare you for career as a data analyst or somebody who's junior on a data scientist team, or as a business professional who may specialize in analytics. You will see that the program, again, balances math, programming, and business influence skills. The BSDA, Bachelor's of Data Analytics program, gives you exposure to the levers and to different elements of that life cycle that we just reviewed. All of this, again, will help you find your passion and what really matters to you and really energizes you when it comes to data analytics. Now, if you're in the master's program, you are going to get a much deeper dive into the data analytics lifecycle, as I mentioned, which will allow you to establish more of an expertise and mastery of those skill sets, especially as it relates to the later concentration. If you're in one of the newer programs and you're in one of the newer concentrations for MSDA, we'll also direct you there. If you're in the MSDA legacy program and you're interested about some of those concentrations, talk to your program mentor and they can help you with that. Just a plug there. But our goal again is to provide you with the mastery of those core skills. Again, core skills, thinking about the data analytics lifecycle and the skills that I mentioned a moment ago, that anyone again under the data analytics umbrella needs to be successful. Then again, if you're in a concentration, you'll start to move into that data engineering, data science, or decision process engineering for whichever area you picked. And you can kind of, again, think about those levers. As you focus on your career goals and highlight the skills and certifications you're receiving, leverage the earn as you go mindset. Share those certificates, add those skills to your LinkedIn, to your resume. That will start getting people excited and even yourself excited about those accomplishments that you're earning and gathering while you're going through your program. You don't have to wait until the end when you get that diploma or degree to start your job search. So again, just start sharing those certificates. You can again see on the screen, depending on which program you're in, what some of those certificates are and what that you have earned or that you will be earning. And the other thing that I really want to point out, and we'll show you later when we're doing a demo, is that on our website, there are areas that you can actually just copy and paste skills and descriptions for your resume in LinkedIn. So Cliff will drop a link in the chat. You can kind of scroll down and you can see skills for resume, but we'll also show you that later today. But it's a tool that we did to just, again, make it really easy for you to copy and paste and add those into your LinkedIn or resume. So I don't forget, a plug as well, if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, my full name is Shaylin Preem. I am there as well. So you're welcome to connect with me as you're updating your LinkedIn profiles as well. All right, I told you there was a lot to unpack, and I'm going to just kind of let that sink in for a minute before I pass the mic to Cliff to talk about how the Career and Professional Development Center can take what you're learning in your program, all of these skills and certificates, and actually put into practice those next steps. And so I will take a breath and I will stop sharing my screen so that Cliff can share his. Oh, I guess I'm sorry, Cliff, you need me to keep sharing the screen for the slides. And then when you go to the demo, I apologize. Hang on one second.
That's okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All right. Great. Again, welcome everyone. If you're just joining us a little later, my name is Cliff Guerin. I'm one of the advisors for the Career and Professional Development Center, here to talk about how we can really connect the dots for you when you're beginning to look for those jobs or internships that are related to your data program. I'll show you some key features from our service and some resources that you can tap into. Okay, we can go to the next slide. One that I often get students to call in or to send a question about e-portfolios. So this would be in addition to, say, your resume, and you may already have an e-portfolio just because you're in that IT space. And they really do have a very strong attraction, if you will, to employers and recruiters. I'd say from e-portfolios, there could be three takeaways. The one is that they're really great, obviously, to showcase your work, any projects, specific skills that you have, programming languages that you know about. It's a really comprehensive and engaging way to get your work and examples in front of the people who are going to either be hiring you or interviewing you, or again, just to get yourself out there. That it's a dynamic platform. You can use any one you want. If you want to create your own little mini site for that, if you want to use something like a repository like GitHub, something to that effect that you have access to, all of those are, good depending on your use and what you want to do with them. The one thing I believe the university does ask is that you don't put any kind of assessment questions or answers or things that are related to exams on there. But if you can reformulate those or somehow repackage those, if it's part of your good work, you can always tap into your mentor or any of us to help you do that if that's necessary. And obviously, it's a powerful tool for not only career development, but for networking. And I've seen students have some really great looking e-portfolios. Although I'm not an expert in this field, I am a career development and career advisor for that. So I have reviewed them simply on, does it have a good appeal? Is it easy to read? Does it have a logical flow if I'm reading it? And I've really found some really inspiring portfolios out there for students to see. Let me now share my screen and show you where this lives on our website so you can see that. And just to make sure everybody can see that okay. So this is our homepage for career and professional development. You'll see that we're advertising Career Quest. Career Quest is just a time of the year where we bring in employers, we bring in all of us as advisors. We do specialized presentations like this one. And you'll see an upcoming events calendar to the right. And then if you click on the blue button, that'll take you to Handshake, and you'll see more events, just in case you're wondering, how do I see other Career Quest events and things like that. But what you want to do is, when you're going for your the e-portfolios, go to Build Your Brand, scroll down to Portfolios, click on that, and then scroll down a little bit. We've got an explanation of what they are. We have how to create a portfolio, create your brand, build it. So step one, we'll have a video for you and a really good guide on building those, artifacts and what you need to do to build that portfolio for yourself. So that would be a good place to start. And then if you want to know more about your personal brand and what does that mean, we have more resources to walk you through those understandings. And then again, getting into the portfolios, we've got a step-by-step way to select specific artifacts. And artifacts will be things like awards, again, projects, things that you have collected, so to speak, during your either your time here or on your own, to showcase your good work and your skill sets. And then if you want to go dive deeper into that, you can click on the School of Technology, and that will take you to that screenshot that you saw on the slide, and it will go into even deeper information about building that e-portfolio, what those artifacts look like, what are they as far as the professional level, the academic level, and even using your portfolio during an interview that could be helpful. And then again, we have more selected videos that we've collected. And then again, if you ever have one and you want us to look at it just for visual appeal and flow and how a recruiter might be able to look at your e-portfolio, we'd be glad to do a review on that. All right, I'm going to stop sharing here just so I can go back to our slides. And Shay, if you could pull up the slides again. Now we're kind of going back and forth a little bit. Great.
That's okay. I was on mute and I'm trying. It should be there, right?
Yes.
Great.
All
Awesome.
right. And so let's see what the next slide is.
Did it change for you?
It did not.
Let me make sure I shared the right window.
All
Do you see
right.
your wheel?
Excellent. Yes.
Thank
So
you.
in general, sure, thank you. In general, these are the four primary ways that we can offer you support from our Office of Career Services and really be able to help you reach those career goals along your journey now and even after you graduate. So even after you graduate, you still have 100% access to our services and support and advisors to help you along the way. So you'll see that if you've been to our website, a little bit of an extensive, lots of resources and things to walk through. So I hope that this kind of breaks it down a little bit more for you to take little bites from it. We host, as you know, what we call career education workshops like this one and others that can help you really do everything from building your resume, as Shay mentioned, your LinkedIn profile or presence, job searches, internships, networking. If you need a mock interview, interview preparation, just about anything under that umbrella and a lot more that we're developing along the way. So this real-time learning will also be able to give you opportunities if you have a quick question and we're doing a drop-in session, say a drop-in session on resumes or cover letters. It's a come and go event. Those are scheduled through Handshake is where you would find that. And the working sessions and the employer connection events are more real-time interactive opportunities for you to join us and our team on a lot of different career topics. The resources we have, as I will show you in just a moment, are on demand. And I really encourage you to really take the wheel yourself, go in there and look at some of those on-demand resources. Many of them do not require an appointment, but you do have to kind of take the wheel, as I said, and kind of dive in to those to explore them. And then some of the integrated technology that we've talked about is Handshake, which you may be aware of or familiar with. Handshake really is going to be where you will have that interaction with employers and where you would do a job search, internship, or anything that's going to be related to our workshops will be scheduled through Handshake. So it's more than just a job search platform. It's much more involved. You can even interact with your peers, almost like LinkedIn or other schools that are on Handshake. There is an interconnection between all of those that can be a great way for you to network with people in your same industry for that. To make Handshake work 100% to its ability, you've got to fill out your entire profile. So don't just think because you have and you can sign into Handshake, but things are missing like your picture or your resume or missing elements of your job titles. That can affect how Handshake goes through those algorithms to pull jobs and to push them your way or for you to do your job search. So a lot of that is important to complete your profile. If you need assistance doing that, that's why we're here, and we can help you with that as well. If you're in the data analytics program, but you're not exactly sure which direction to go, we have a platform called Pathway U, and that is about 4 assessments that can help direct you into your career path that could be helpful as well. And then when you're ready for that interview preparation, you have an employer or recruiter that has contacted you and you want to go through a mock interview. That other integrated technology piece we have is Big Interview, which is a really dynamic platform to use that we can help you with. And then all along the way, when you need assistance with any kind of deeper questions or just some personal guidance, you can make an appointment with us, and any of our advisors will be happy to help you along the way. All right, if we can go to the next slide. Okay, so let's go back to our live review, I'm going to share my screen again, just to show you some of the things that we talked about. All right. So back here at our homepage, still a lot of people will come, probably much more than any other service, and ask about resumes. So if you go back to build your brand and you click on resumes, that will take you to our resume page. When you want a resume review, we ask that you don't just send it in off, at the beginning of your contact with us, but please go through the resume course first. This is going to walk you through best practices for today's resumes, especially those that are going to be in the IT field, so that you know that you have the latest and greatest as far as formatting is concerned. If you're not sure what you want to do and you want to avoid maybe those over formatted templates that are out there, go to step 2 and click on School of Technology. And then you'll see where we have some resume templates for you to use. The general IT might be the best one to start with. And then if for some reason, if your data, education and your degree is taking you the route of cybersecurity for some reason, or even some of these others, if you're a veteran, then you can also get a view of a sample resume to use as well. So we try to give you a variety of different formats that might work best for you. Let me go back here again. Career milestones is a way for you to really be able to plan your career. If you're not sure what your goal is within data analytics, you're taking the program, but you're not sure exactly where you want to go necessarily with that, then this goal setting tool that we have in platform might be good for you to use and look at. Now, what I also want to show you is our internship, what we call also experiential learning. And that's going to be under the jobs and internships. Just click on that, scroll down. Again, we have a video to watch. We all have different learning styles. Some are hands-on, some are visual, some are more, in the sense of learning by reading and having that in front of them. So we try to address those different learning styles as much as we can. But if you scroll down, you'll go through this and you'll see a lot of areas. You don't have to go through step 1, step 2, step 3 necessarily, but I would look at these to see what might be a better approach for you as far as understanding what the internships are and how to do a search for them. And here is where you would be able to, again, find that internship, go to Handshake to look at that. If you click on Handshake, this is where you'll be able to get more information on its use and also connecting and looking at how to optimize your profile if you're working on your profile. So I wanted to show that and share that with you as well. And then if you have questions during our Q&A, if you have specific questions about our services or resources, that's why I'm here, is to help you with that and to get that rolling. Shay is putting in some links to some of those resources and areas as well, so you can grab those and bookmark them or just have them transfer them to a Word document or whatever you want to come back and take time to check those out. All right.
Awesome. The next one is showing the live demo for the career pages.
Okay. That's right.
Instead of me sharing my PowerPoint to then pass it back, I figure we can just keep you
Sure.
live demoing.
All right. Get back in here. All right. So what Shay was talking about is back on our homepage. If you're getting dizzy from all this, just hang in there. Go to the School and Industry, and if you click on the School of Technology, you'll find a lot of resources and obviously relevant information for you in your industry and also your program. And you'll see what we put, and this is one of the great new features, is that you'll see relevant jobs that have been pulled from Handshake that will be here. And again, you can always click over to go back to look at and search for those jobs in a deeper way. So we try to contain a lot of what the most relevant resources will be to help you out. One, as Shay was referring to, are the career guides. So when you click on the career guides, this will take you to the university page on what does the career look like in technology. So it'll walk you through a lot of this. What are those that might be in my specific area of data analytics? So it's divided into the bachelor's programs and the master's program. So we take the bachelor's as a sample. You'll see the different types of sample jobs that are here, and they're just samples, like we said. So if you're looking at this to say, well, I want to be maybe a data scientist, what does that career look like? This will walk you through a pretty well detailed outline of what is a data scientist, learn more about the degree options, what are certain responsibilities, what are the different programs that the university offers for this, what are some of the metrics that break down into that degree program, how do I go about getting into that if that's something you're exploring or a prospective student would be more interested in that. And then it goes into those degree plans. And then even some statistics as far as salary breakdown, project or projected job growth. And Shay alluded to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And so this is where you'll get some up-to-date information, even in today's market, might be helpful and maybe encouraging to look at. And then breaking it down to what skills are going to be required. And then goes more into some of that information. Now, going back to this again, I want to look at the data analytics. And there was the site for, it even broke down into skills. This is what Shay was looking at as far as those levers that you can use. But also what is very interesting to look at, I'm going to scroll a little bit quicker down here, but we'll also give you skills for your resume. So a lot of students will also ask, you know, I know I'm in the program, I'm a career changer. This is all new to me, but what skills should I be focusing on, maybe on my resume or my ePortfolio? So as you're going through that program, these are some of the ones that are recommended to maybe pay more attention to. But then with your contact with our office at Career Services, we can help you to maybe identify where these would go on your resume, how you would need to use these maybe on your LinkedIn profile or your Handshake profile, or even in your cover letter that could be useful. Any other things, Shay, that you have in mind to explore?
I don't have anything else that was on our agenda, but we may have some questions in the chat. So,
sure.
Okay. I think your slides, I think we're through your slides, unless you have anything else that you need to end before we officially go to Q&A.
I guess just real quickly, we talked a lot about job searching and the job boards. So we do have specific job boards for this School of Technology, and all of these are live hyperlinks. So you can go here and click on these, and it will take you to those specific IT related job boards, in addition to Handshake. So we want to give you a broad spectrum to look at to help you with any of those needs. And I will stop sharing here.
Awesome.
And go back to center stage.
Thanks, Cliff. I'll just share a tidbit of information about Handshake. So I work here, but I also just went through the MBA program. So was recently a WGU student and now an alum. And I had set up my Handshake, and it was really funny, because I got a ping from somebody the other day that they were hiring for roles at a school, and it was just really interesting. I ended up knowing the person through a mutual connection, so it's kind of cool to just see the pings come through on Handshake. So if you aren't on there, it's definitely worth just advocating, sharing, networking, meeting other people in your city or in your area. So such a great tool. I'm going to share my screen again just because I saw that there was a question that might be helpful if I pull up a slide again. So I saw a question. I don't know if Jennifer is still here, but there was a question about, are we able to obtain a data engineering certificate after applying for graduation? And I'm going to try to answer that question. If you are still here, Jennifer, you can correct me, stop me, correct me, redirect me, but I'll answer the question this way. So while you are in your program, for example, the current master's program, I apologize, I did only include the certificates for the current program. I should have included it for the other as well. But the new master's program has two certificates in the core. So the one is the data analytics professional and the other is the data operations certificate. When you move into your concentration, you will get a specialization. So not a certificate, but a specialization that says data engineering professional. You, just like all of those certificates that are embedded, you earn them as you go. So as you finish a set of courses, right after you finish those courses is when you get that certificate. So as far as obtaining the data engineering cert after applying for graduation, in theory, you should get that cert before you even do your capstone. So you get that embedded cert specialization in data engineering or data science or decision process engineering before you even go into your capstone. So that would be for your graduation application. However, if your question is on the flip side, or alternatively, if you are in the Master of Data Analytics Data Science program, and that is what your master's degree will show you, and you are interested in getting a data engineering post-grad certificate, for lack of a better term, you can go to WGU Academy and take the 3 data engineering courses that are from the master's program and get a secondary post-grad certificate. In order to do that, it is truly recommended that you finish your master's degree, finish that program before you go over to WGU Academy. So while it's not required, I would recommend finishing your master's degree. And then if you want to go over to WGU Academy to get that data engineering post-grad certificate, you can do that. And you can also do that if you are in, excuse me, the current MSDA program that doesn't have one of the specializations. You can still go to WGU Academy and get that certificate. I need a drink of water. So any other questions, any follow-up if Jennifer's still here, from anybody else?
Can you tell us a little bit more about the WGU Academy? I'm not familiar with it.
I can. So with the new, and I can drop the link in just a second, but what we did when we launched the new MSDA program that has the concentrations in data science, data engineering, and decision process engineering, what we really wanted to do is give students the opportunity, once they finished a degree, to go get a post-grad certificate. So let's say you're like, during enrollment, I'm really torn. Do I want data science or do I want data engineering? You select the data science program. Well, now at this point, you still have an option to go to WGU Academy to take those essentially exact same 3 courses that are in the specialization over at WGU Academy to get what is sort of considered like a post-grad certificate. At WGU Academy, it's just called the Data Analytics Certificate, but really it's a post-grad certificate. And we only have that right now for data engineering. It is on the roadmap. I don't have any dates for making the post-grad data science or the decision process engineering post-grad certificate. We really just started with the data engineering. Does that help?
It does.
Okay.
And
And
I
I'll
put the
try to
link,
find that
I
link
put
and
the
drop
link
it
in
in.
there
Oh, you found it?
for the Academy homepage.
Uh-huh.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And
If you go to the,
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, I'm actually in the WGU Academy for the AI fundamentals
Mhm.
certificate. So it's going
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah. So they have in the if you go to that link for Academy, you'll see something that says single courses, bundled programs, and certificates, something like that. You have to
Mhm.
scroll down to certificates, and then you should see the data analytics one there. Data engineering. There is a data analytics certificate, but if you're already in a program, it's it's more of a, are you ready with foundational skills that you may need for a master's program? So
Are those certificates similar to enrolling for one semester?
yeah, I think they're
What we
4
do now,
months
or-
if I remember correctly. So it's a little shorter than a full term at WGU, since our WGU terms are 6 months. I think that WGU Academy for the data engineering cert is 4 months if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Their model's a little bit different if you're not familiar with WGU Academy. So you have coaches, but you don't have program mentors. It's even a little bit more self-managed in WGU Academy than we are here in the School of Technology.
Okay. What does that cost in terms of, is it similar to a semester or?
I think it is pretty close in cost. It's in the, I don't have it off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but it should be in the link. I want to say it's pretty comparable, but it's again just 3 courses. So a lot of times with our model at WGU, you can take as many courses as you can in a term. So I mean, not necessarily an apples to apples comparison, but as far as a cost to cost, they're about the same.
The certificate for data analytics skills is 4 months, 2,000 for the certificate, and 6 courses. The data engineering professional certificate is 7 months and $3,500 for the certificate and 3 courses.
Thank you. Sorry, I was backwards. I had the data analytics term and the data engineering terms mixed up. So 7 months.
So they're different. You know, the one I'm on the AI is 3 months, and there are 2 modules and then the courses within those modules. So they're all unique, different. There is a question from Jennifer, if we can ask that. You may know this. She wants to know where the Udacity certs are or any of the WGU certs.
Sure. So there's never a dumb question. Thank you for asking. If you're thinking it, somebody else is asking it as well. So in the BSDA program, at the end, typically in the standard path, at the end of the program, there are 6 courses where you are doing projects through Udacity. Once you finish all 6 of those courses, you are provided a what's called the Udacity Data Analytics Nano degree. And that nano degree again consists of 6 courses: intro to data science, machine learning, visualization, ML DevOps, and a couple others that I'm forgetting. But if you again, you can look at your degree plan, you can talk to your PM, but there are 6 courses that all kind of go in the same flow. If you're doing a standard path, they're the last 6 courses before your capstone. And then as far as the embedded certificates, again, those are earned after you complete a set of courses. So if I look, for example, on the master's side, for let's say if you're in one of the programs that has a concentration, the core courses for data management, data preparation, and the deployment course. Once you complete all 3 of those courses, you'll be awarded the data operations certificate. And again, that just comes after that's done. So if you are having any issues with scores getting posted, not receiving your certificate from Udacity or from one of the vendors, let your PM know and they'll let me know, and we'll figure out what's going on to make sure that you get your certificate. I did see a couple questions about internships.
Mhm.
You want to?
Yeah, I'd say I replied to one to Sadie, and I'd say the same thing. If you don't have a lot of experience in what you're studying in the career that you're pursuing, then an internship would be good. I think that would be something good to get under your belt. We have a document on internships for the School of IT. So I will find that document and see if I can make sure that you all get access to it. And I think that will walk you through not only just internships, but what we call micro internships or even project-based types of experience through a couple of different companies. So those would be virtual. Those will be ones that you could do in addition to other educational or academic, or even if you're working, you have a regular job, you can't do an internship per se, then these other micro internship opportunities might work for you.
Hello, I had a question if I could.
Yeah.
So I'm a DBA, so I'm already in the IT field. So this is kind of like a little bit of a pivot. I already do, querying but I'm trying to figure out because I wouldn't want to do an internship because it would be like, it would kind of a little bit in a sense kind of going backwards. But I have experience with Python, Excel, a lot of everything. I don't have experience with like with the Tableau. I'm wondering like because as far as like with resumes and things that well, what would be a good idea to do so that I could go towards the data analyst side more so because I don't have that. Now, from what I understand, either Tableau or with a business BSI, it's like kind of you have to be good at either one of those.
Yeah. Which program are you in?
I'm in the bachelor's degree for data management and analytics.
Okay. You will start to probably get into some of those courses. One of the things that I did with the team recently in the data visualization course was add some supplemental materials for Power BI. So it really depends. Again, tools are tools. Some organizations are going to be different, some are going to change. So if you can learn one, whether it's Tableau or Power BI, if you know an organization that you are trying to work in and what they use, obviously pick that one. But if you can focus on one tool and understand it, it's a lot easier to learn tools again later. But the course itself, when you get to data visualization later, will focus on Tableau, but there are supplemental resources for Power BI. Another plug that I will make in general is we have if you are not a part of WGU Connect yet, I highly recommend that you go to WGU Connect and you join student communities. So I know that there are Facebook ones out there and Reddit ones out there, but this is a WGU led one that will promote, again, different events, datathons, internships, conferences. So if you go to that space in WGU Connect, find your program, you can join those groups. And then one of the other parts of WGU Connect that we have, and that's launching in 2 weeks, is a data club. There's also a women in IT club and a data club. Both will be live on WGU Connect soon. The data club has already been running for quite some time, but we'll be moving spaces. in there, we just did a datathon. So not really an internship, but an opportunity to go practice your skills, practice in even sometimes a little bit more of a risk free environment. So you could pick a tool like Tableau or Power BI. You're working with a team member or a group. And then also one of the things that I'm working on is we use a learning resource provider called DataCamp. DataCamp is used in some of our master's level programs, but students have access to a lot of the resources that are in DataCamp. And so there are other ways to do extra projects, extra code alongs, just again, extra opportunities to just learn more. So if you're trying to learn more about Tableau, Power BI, Python, machine learning, we're going to be helping students that are in the data club get extra access to DataCamp for those very specific opportunities to just practice, do more. If there's a topic you want to kind of dive in deeper into those topics, if it's not already in one of your courses, or if you're not quite to that course and you're just really excited and you want to get on that topic as soon as possible. So let me recap, because that was a lot of information. Join WGU Connect, find your program community. If you're interested in joining a club, we have a data club and we have a women in tech club. Both provide opportunities for interactions, additional work, additional like code alongs, projects, things to help beef up your e-portfolio, networking. Okay.
Okay. Now, one last question.
Uh-huh.
After you graduate, how many of those services are still available to you? Because I think Udemy, someone said that it is like an alumni way to log in. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So as alumni, we have a resources to a variety of things. We still get LinkedIn Learning. You will, if you sign up for DataCamp, you should still have DataCamp as an alumni. That's how we've set up our license with them. So DataCamp is another one that you will have access to. I know that I think as an alumni, I think you get Pluralsight as well, which has different videos and resources. So maybe we can drop in a alumni link too. I think
I just did that.
Perfect. But as far as data or tech, if you join in, and I see that Laura, I believe, asked how we access DataCamp resources. Depending on what program you're in, you may already have access to it. And if you're in a program that already has access to DataCamp, you have access to everything. And if not, I'll just drop my email in and you can reach out to me and we can connect offline and I can figure out how to get you set up. Again, my best bet is to sign up for WGU Connect, and I can drop that link in too. If you give me just a second. I know we are over time. I really want to respect everybody's time. If people have had to drop, of course, that makes sense. But is there anything else while I grab this last link? Any other questions in the chat?
There's one from Catherine, and she asked that, are there any specific domain-specific knowledges or experiences? For example, Army, if she was to go into a healthcare company, are there any specific healthcare data courses or certificates that she could add to the curriculum?
Yeah. In the School of Technology, there are not. My recommendation is to always continue to watch WGU Academy, to watch the School of Health, to watch the School of Education, to watch the School of Business. The WGU is always about innovating and finding new ways for new certificates, new specializations. I think we'll start to see some more of that. I can't really speak from what's on the roadmap, especially for other schools, since I only work in the School of Technology. But I do know that we have university-wide initiatives for innovation, for certificates, for specializations, and recognizing kind of what some of those look like, the field looks like, whether it's healthcare. I know like the MBA has an MBA, kind of a general, a healthcare management, and an IT management. So again, WGU is already doing that for some spaces. I would just keep your eye open. Keep watching the website or connecting with your PM. I was just going to say, I know the School of Business has a Master's of Marketing Analytics. that's live. So I don't know, I know a lot of people that have gone through the Master of Data Analytics program, and they're people analysts within an HR department. So we have a lot of people coming through our program, but who knows, maybe there will be people analyst specializations from the School of Business or something like that soon. So while there might not be something today, I would just keep watching, keep an eye out.
And as a reminder, after we finish our program today, once I'm able to get the information to turn this into a YouTube video, you will get that email with the attachment and the survey.
Okay. All right. I would recommend, if you have any additional questions, reach out to myself. I gave you my email address. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn or schedule an appointment with the Career and Professional Development Center. Anything else to close out from you, Cliff?
I don't think so. Just want to really thank you all for joining us, and I hope you got something out of this presentation. Please review and go through our Career Services website for other events and other resources that you'll have.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate your time, and thanks for the extra few minutes for the Q&A.
Thanks.
All right, all. Thank you.